Welcome to the SAT prep course that's been moved online. Basically, if you are an incoming senior, we get through 1 week of after school online, after school in person SAT prep courses. It is tentatively being delayed until September 23rd, the SAT, as it was scheduled for April. So, what we did, Mrs. Clayson and I, is we moved what we usually do after school in that once a week, 4 weeks leading up after school, moved it all as best we could online. And I know some of your other teachers, when you were in class, like Miss Tanny Hill or Miss Chapman or AOT or Rinks or any other of the math teachers and in language arts teachers would be prepping you for the SAT in addition to after school sessions. We're trying to replicate that here. So now when you see some, I want to give you a quick guide to this because it's set up in such a way that there's numbers and the numbers are going to represent the order. Now certainly that since these are strongly encouraged, yet not everything is required based on your needs, your requirements, based on your time. You can do this however you wish to tackle it. And I know a lot of you like to spend more time with the math section, so you can spend more time with the math section. Let me also emphasize, and I say this in class all the time to you, and you guys may remember me saying this in class to some of you. Always start with go to classwork. Stay out of the stream. The stream isn't going to help you here. Go to classwork because classwork is where everything is nicely organized. So let's stay in classwork. And you'll see that Mrs. Kleiss has got some introductions to SAT prep for math, some basic introductions, and then she's got something called Algebra Nation. I think this is where a lot of your practice is, as Algebra Nation has a class. Has some coursework that you can do to practice for the SAT in the math section. So that's what she has, and she's got some instructional videos on how to do this. If you want to meet one-on-one with her, she's got set up for some tutorial sessions to make an appointment. If you click on, obviously that's her link for the to do it for your Google Meet. She's got some times set aside here to do this. If you click on this and you go to and I've got the same thing, so I'll show you this once, and it's the same thing, and you can set up a time, and you can put your name in to be able to do that if you so wish. Not required. I would suggest doing some of this work on your own first. She's also got some of the SAT math practice tests in here. She's had those in here for a while. Now mine is a little different setup. I didn't rely on Algebra Nation as much. I didn't have anything to do, so I made a lot more of my own videos. I've done this a long time. Longer than I've been a teacher. So I made a lot of videos, and the number order is basically I started with the writing and language section, gave you some tips, strategies, question types, broke down, used practice test 3 from the list of SAT practice tests, and you'll see that and I put a link in here to all the SAT practice tests in case you were so inclined to look at some of the full length practice tests. If you're incoming senior, you in December, if you remember way back in December, you took, I believe, practice test 3, and that was the one that's the one I base when you practiced in December in the gym there, you took practice test 3. So that's the one I was basing off of your using as a guide. I may use that in the spring as well, but that's not for you. So then there's an assignment, guided practice. So I said pick a section of the test. I picked a section and said, please do this section. And then I made a video of it to explain it. Don't cheat yourself. Do the section first. And then I use a thing called Kami that opens up a PDF. If you watch the video for Kami, you'll get that. So this seems like a lot. The Khan Academy is strictly extra practice. So the Khan Academy is strictly extra practice. If you get into Khan Academy, if my classroom would ever be intelligent and open up here, you can get into various materials. There's a lot there. I went through some skills. By no means is all that required. You can sign up for Khan Academy. And it's going to say join SAT prep course fall 2020, and you can go in and join. We'll see what it looks like. technically I'm the teacher for this class. I don't know why it's doing this. So then it should join. See, this is it's going to tell me that I have students in here, and I've given you a series of quote unquote assignments. You don't have to do them by any stretch of the imagination, all of them. Work on the ones that you think you need help with. If you feel like you need more reading help, you can do that. If you feel like you need more help with if you feel like you need more help with the language, writing language, do some of the skills that are listed on the writing and language. So like I've got a series of different assignments that I gave you for that, to be able to do that, if you're so inclined to do that. So that can help you with that as well. And there is, what's the word I'm looking for? And I go through different reading question type examples, SAT reading, different strategies, a couple different strategies and methods for that, to be able to tackle that. So use the numeric order if you're so inclined. That's probably your best way to do it. But if you're looking for to focus on writing and language, the first three are the writing and language. If you're just looking at me, you do 1 and 2, and then continue into the reading question types and strategies. And introductory video that talks about the strategies, and then a couple different reading methods there as well. And then the last thing I talk about is the some work with the SAT essay. I give you an example of the rubric and some Khan Academy practice if you wish to do that. And then the assignment part is more, hey, reading set or guided practice, and then I tell you on a video how to download Khan Academy, how to download the SAT rubric. So that is, and then I've got my tutorial sessions as well. So again, mine's a little more extensive because I did a little differently in terms of like looking at different strategies, and I go through some of some example tests and look at different question types, how to tackle them, what you might want to skip, what you might want to in terms of questions, what you might want to skip, what you might want to go through more starting first, depending on your choice of strategies. So that is in a nutshell how this course works. If you need to click on view more, click on view more. So again, Mrs. Kleiss's is a little less because it's most of it I think is contained in Algebra Nation, and then mine you can go through in order if you're so inclined. If you want to skip the Khan Academy practices because you're good, 3 and 10, they're a little more optional in that sense. So I would definitely look at the strategies and the question types that really gets you familiar with the test. And then the same thing for looking at the actual tackling of the test. That's key. And then digging into the skills as you have more time. So hopefully you'll be able to take some time to do this. If you're here in August, that's awesome. Because then you can do this a little bit before school starts. I know it's not the most exciting in the whole wide world, but there's still colleges that are going to probably look at this for admissions in some instances. All right. Well, best wishes, and obviously you have our emails. You have a way to certainly get a hold of us if necessary. Obviously, Google private message on here certainly is a good method. We've got them set, I think, now so they pop up if you want to send us a private message. That's certainly encouraged.